Hello and welcome back again. This is the Final Fantasy VI Speedrun, Kappa percent in sections. We are now on part 7, I think. I've had a couple of false starts recently, but now I'm back to where I was when I blew the game last time, so now we can see it the way it's supposed to be. Here in Doma Castle, we are entering Cyan's nightmares to free him from the demon that's taken hold of his soul because of his despair over losing his wife and child. Now we're Dream Busters, and we have a very difficult fight, especially since I'm so powerful. It's nearly impossible for me to kill myself because of my thing, so I have to find an interesting way to win this battle, and the way I'd set it up before, I didn't have the proper tools to do so. Now, however, I'm going to do it correctly. So if Raiden instant kills those guys... Yep, they're not supposed to do that. The battle ends. That's the way it's supposed to be. Occasionally they'll come back to life anyway. There. And we got my bunch of magic points for it. And voila. I'm not sure if it's because I had to save and reload, but I might have lost my Magitech because of that. Oh well. In some ways, my mess-up last time was fortuitous, because the last thing had gone on a little long, and it forced me to cut it short. Don't like to do too much over an hour, but when I'm getting really into getting close to finishing the game, you know. I'll have one more section after this. I'm going to finish up the last of the side quests needed to get towards 100%, and then I will do my final run at Kefka. For my final one, and then it'll be GG. This will be over, and the next time I'll try it, I'll try to have upgraded video software or capture software. I'm going to run it on any percent. I'm going to make sure that I don't do any mess-ups. I'll probably still have it segmented because it's just easiest to upload that way. I'll have better breakpoints of exactly where I want to go, rather than the issues I've had with these last couple of times and my attempts to experiment and make things work properly, and then just general carelessness. But then once I've got that set up properly, and then I'll start going into regular speedrunning. So Cyan's very devastated by the fact that he's lost his wife and child still, but this sword, it's not the Masamune or anything. This is one of the few Final Fantasy games that doesn't have a Masamune in it. It's not anything at all. Oh wait, there's a Magicite there. Wait, get us the Magicite. We need the Magicite. Come back, Magicite, come back. So this is the event. Your two big fighters, Sabin and Cyan, both have events in the world of Ruin that can automatically give you your ultimate skills in Blitz and in Sword Tech. And in Cyan's case, it's right here. You have to go to this big long event and a couple of boss fights. Sabin's is much easier. I'm not going to bother with it though, because I don't really need Bum Rush. In a normal setting, Bum Rush is extremely powerful, and so you'd want to be using it, but not the case for me. Because it's his, just because I'm going to go ahead and give him Alexander. Okay, so I am missing. That would be Odin, that'd be Crusader. I have all the Espers, which is good. I have one more dragon to kill. I have a couple more characters to pick up. And just and how many skill points needed? 19. So I'm still a little ways away. I might go and do a quick cat trot battle without... Okay, so we need to go to the Cave on the Veldt here first to pick up... I might not. Yeah, I might have to do one battle. Although it depends on what I fight in the cave. Some of these monsters in a box that I like to fight give magic points, and some don't. You're coming with us? That's a really bad translation. I'm not sure what they're supposed to mean. It's like, you want us to come with you, maybe? These guys will tell you about Gao. how the strange kid would only approach them if there were 3 of them. That's kind of as a hint to how you want to recruit him, because that's what they want you to do. Is they essentially set him as soon as you get the airship. He's added to the party, but he's on the Velt, so in order to get him back, you have to do the usual Velt thing. As usual, monsters like this fall really quickly too. I could have gotten a proper... Ooh, nasty Doom counter. That's another Tiger Fangs. Now, if I had another Genji Glove, I could have Sabin dual wield. I'm going to have to find one and see if I can add it to my route if I do 100% again, like this. I'm missing something. It's further on, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I'm not missing anything yet. Okay, you got to pick the striker up. It's the most important just get in the game if you're trying to do 100%, because otherwise you, even though you rescue Shadow here, you can't actually recruit him back into the party, which kind of defeats the whole point. Yep, I need to pick up 4 more magic points to remain on my route properly, because I only have 1 more real boss to fight after this one. This is one of those fights where even Ultima is upstaged by certain abilities. I'll be using Ultima in the first one, but... That was silly of me. Low damage from that. You know, the quick spell that I got, that you get from Raiden, is about the only thing in this game that I haven't really, super thing that I haven't messed with a whole lot and used a whole lot. It can be really powerful, especially with the Genji Glove offering setup that I have. They actually had all their spells prepped. I shouldn't have prepped them all. That was kind of habit. Oh well. Regardless, he dies. Since he's undead in the second phase, you can easily kill him with a Revivify or a Phoenix down. He actually is. He always drops Behemoth Suit. He sometimes drops the Thunderblade, I believe. Her. Realm appears here if you didn't save Shadow, and that's, I think, what they assume happened. So they used the her, and they didn't correct it if Shadow's in place instead. Because, of course, gender, all the pronouns in Japanese are essentially gender neutral. So they didn't use her or him there. They used this person. You know, it's a him and her. But so they didn't need different dialogue for Shadow or Realm. It works the same. But because of that, it kind of made it a bit of a problem, since they didn't use anything that would have been gender neutral like our friend. So Shadow is a her now. This is the first of the dream sequences you get in the World of Ruin if you have Shadow in your party and you go resting. You see more of these that tell of Clyde's history, and you figure out eventually that Clyde is Shadow, and Clyde is Realm's father. Yes, spoilers, right? But since you won't see that if you don't do that. He had his companion named Barum, and he eventually... They were thieves, and when everything went bad, he killed his friend himself to stop him, to keep him from... you know, his friend begged him to kill him rather than let him suffer or whatever, so that was a bit of a... sadness. Let's rest here for a moment. If you have Realm in your party, you have to go to a weird specific point to trigger her moving on from here to, I mean, if you picked up Realm because you don't have Shadow because you let him die, you have to go through a weird thing first before you can move it, but we don't have to worry about that because it's Shadow. She will move on to Jidor just like we saw her eventually, but you have to hit a specific point in town. Shadow in the Coliseum. You have to recruit him, you have to find him here in the Coliseum, and it's one of the easiest fights in the game. It's pathetic. You have to offer up the Striker. We're going to have Cayenne do something for us. Slash is a stupid thing to use. It's about the only thing that won't one-shot him. Luckily, Shadow has no equipment, so again, he's super wimpy. Slash, really? Slash is a demi attack. It does half of his hit points in damage. Of course, it also causes... He'll eventually die. Oh, there we go. Now he's wasting time. "30 levels." In some ways, 30 was a really low-level thing to do. Because about level 40, Cyan would be doing about 1,000 damage a hit, or 2,000 instead of just 500. Kind of a... But, you know, whatever. Okay, I need to go to the party first. There's one more random battle I need to fight in order to get enough magic points guaranteed, so I need to switch out my party one more time. Okay, we're going to take Terra, Realm, and we'll take Guile. Why not? Doesn't really matter at this point. I don't have another Genji Glove, do I? But I can take another offering and give him, say, Marble Shoes. So that's fun. Any battle I fight in the desert here will be guaranteed 5 magic points, which is what I need, so I'm just going to fight one quick battle here. Hoover, of course. Oh, I forgot to equip Realm. She's going to die. Not that it matters. This is going to kill her. Oh well. This will kill the Hoover. He might respond with another Sandstorm, but... Nope. We're gonna give her that. Instead, Mage's Rod goes to Strago. Gonna give her the usual backup strategies. Okay. Now, the whole reason that I got the party I did is that... I now need to go to the belt and pick up Gao. I only have 2 characters left to pick up. It automatically resets everything if you meet him. See, I did cast Cure, but I just wanted to make sure, you know. The last thing I want to do is blast him with Ultima after getting him so he runs away again. Okay. That's that. Now I only have 2 places left in the game. Here's where we're going to have some fun. Slow walk. Should have put on sprint shoes. Don't care. Come back, Moogle. Okay. And Girl from Secret of Mana again. Because she is more potentially useful to the party with Mimic than Mog is with the spells he doesn't possess. One of the nice reasons to... Oh, crap. Silly me. The whole reason I had Realm in my party, of course, was so that I could immediately get the old man again, but I've got... getting ahead of myself again. Okay, now we have our big long scene where the last party member, Strago, is at it again. MSKain, come back to us. And he goes super psycho, hearing his child's voice. How on earth did he get sucked into this wacko cult? You're as foul-mouthed as ever, bless your heart. Hey, make room for me, as you say, old man. These are the 3 caster classes, the 3 that really the only 3 in the game, even though they don't have natural magic, any of them. They are the 3 that actually can only equip like rods and daggers and who can only wear robes and such. So in some ways, especially with the way magic is so readily available in the later game, and these guys don't arrive until the later game, they're your most useless party members, except for special circumstances. Go-Go, of course, is actually really good for mimicking. If the rest of your party is strong, you can mimic and make him really strong too. Realm is very situational, really good in the sketch glitch, otherwise pretty much worthless, though she does actually have the highest magic power in the game, even more than Terra and Celis, the natural magic users. Strago has really lousy stats, but his magic power is also really high. And some of his lures, especially Aqua Rake and Clean Sweep, are really good because they're water elemental, and that's hard to get. Safety bit, air anchor, just in case I ever want to use the air anchor. Air anchor is one I've never really used much. It's kind of cool, but there are some enemies that are even bosses and pieces of Kefka that are weak to instant death, which you'll see a lot of exploitation of in your normal speedruns, of course. But I never bothered to learn any of that when you could just level up a little bit more and then obliterate them with Genji Glove Offering and with Ultima, you know. But if you like trying out those other kind of tactical things, Air Anchor has some major uses. It's cool because it doesn't cause instant death on its own, but the minute an enemy makes an action, then it does die if it's not immune to instant death, so... Stunner, Shadow's ultimate weapon, so now we have 2 of them. Here's the White Dragon. The White Dragon is a joke even in normal speedruns, because all you have to do is learn the Mute spell. And Mute causes it to... I haven't put her gem box back on her yet. I need to do that now that I don't need to use that anymore. It has really high magic resistance, so it's really vulnerable to... so it's really hard to hit. Plus, you know, it's in this tower you can only use magic, so that seems kind of bad. But the thing is that he's actually weak to mute, and since magic is the only thing you can use in this tower, that means villains as well. So, yeah, you can just... cast Mute on it and wail on it with all the spells you like and not worry about anything anymore. 2 dragons left. Normally I'd be done with this tower, but I am going to show off just because it's something you'll never see in a normal speedrun. Also because there's a special something about this tower. Force armor. If I wasn't concerned about absorbing everything, Force is a really good thing to equip because even though it has low actual defense stats, it gives really high magic evasion, which affects everything. So now, here's the great gem box. But you know what? I've already cheated so much and got so many gem boxes. On second thought, I don't want a gem box. I'm not going to get it. Wait, what? What's going on? What's going on? Why are these guys here? What do you mean they're here to stop you from taking the gem box? Master Kefka's treasure, return it now. There is no treasure. I didn't take it. It's still in there. What are you talking about? I don't... That's the Magimaster, right? I want to fight him. I decided to leave the gem box. I don't want to fight him. Oh, come on. Oh. Come on. Okay. So, Now we're going into this fight, which is not very scary in this situation. But yeah, the key is trigger points for the game happen in response to a lot of things. And one of them is stepping in front of that chest. Not actually looting the chest, but stepping in front of it is what causes this trigger to make Magimaster appear. So it really doesn't matter if I get the chest or not. So I decided to show that off. Not only did I want to just kill Magimaster because I can, but I wanted to show off that little bit of funny thing. Magimaster is a very interesting fight, probably the hardest overall fight in the game, because he first of all has this wall change where he randomly, every time he takes damage, changes his weakness, so you have to seek it out. And the other nasty thing about it, of course, is that he has some really powerful spells of his own that he uses, and there's nothing else you can do but use magic. So the way around that is using Ultima because it's non-elemental. You can also use Flare if you haven't got Ultima yet, and but you do have Flare or Meteor, those are the best things. But the real big thing is that when he dies, he unleashes Ultima, which again, you can't evade, and it automatically does a huge amount of damage, as you can see. Wipes out even my party. So you need life 3, which you only learned from Phoenix, which is why I was going around grinding magic points, just specifically so I could get that. And there's another trick you can use using the Esper Palador. You can, if you do like just about 50,000-ish points of damage to him, 40 to 50,000, and prep all your spells and then have somebody cast Palador to jump you all away. Only 1 or 2 characters will land by the time he's killed, and then he'll unleash his Ultima on an incomplete party. It's rather similar to the technique that is used in Final Fantasy V speedruns against Titan that Poexel calls Chivalry is Dead. By being jumped out of the fight, you won't be hit by the last-ditch attack, and so you'll survive. It's also a really fun technique, but I decided to just go the easy way and use life 3. But I could always use that as a backup strat since nothing else about it is threatening. If I forget to use life 3, though, I mean, there's no surviving that Ultima unless you're like 99th level with 9,000 hit points and stuff. So he is supposed to be just about the biggest bad in the game. Not as many hit points, of course, and everything as Kefka, but in some ways, he's the first, as it were, kind of ruby weapon. Well, the Omega weapon, actually, in 5 is probably closer, and it's even worse. So that's it. Next we'll be taking on Kefka, so get ready for it. We're going to have some fun now.